Good evening, everyone. So tonight I'm going to read The Witch. This is a Russian fairy tale based on Baba Yaga folk story from Andrew Lang's Yellow Fairy Book. There will be a description below so you can go and click the link. Once upon a time, there was a peasant whose wife died, leaving him with twins, a boy and a girl. For some years, the poor man cared for the children as best he could, but at last he married again. However, the twins' new stepmother was very cruel to them and beat them and half-starved them. All day she thought of nothing but how she could get rid of them. At last an evil idea came to her, and one morning she said to them, "I'm going to send you to visit my granny, who lives in a dear little hut in the wood. You will have to work hard for her, but she will take good care of you." So the children left the house, with only a bottle of milk and a piece of ham and a hunk of bread. The little sister, who was very wise for her years, said to the brother, "Oh, stepmother is not sending us to her granny, but a wicked witch. We must be polite and kind to everyone, and never touch a crumb belonging to anyone else. Then who knows, someone might help us." And they stuck out into the gloomy woods. Eventually, the children saw, in the thickest of the trees, a little hut. Nervously, they peeped inside, and there lay the witch, with her head on the threshold, a foot in each corner, and her knees cocked up, almost touching the ceiling. "Who's there?" she snarled. Though the twins were terrified, they answered politely, "Good morning, Granny. Our stepmother has sent us to serve you." "See that you do it well, then," said the witch. "If I am pleased with you, I'll reward you, but if I am not, I'll cook you in the oven." So saying, she set the girl down to spin yarn, and she gave the boy a sieve in which he could carry water from the well, and she herself went out into the wood. The girl began weeping bitterly because she could not spin, but suddenly she heard hundreds of little feet, and from every hole in the hut, mice came pattering, squeaking and saying, "Little girl, why are your eyes so red? If you want help, then give us some bread." And the little girl gave them some of her bread. Then the mice told her that the witch had a cat, and the cat was very fond of ham. If she would give the cat her ham, it would show her the way out of the wood, and in the meantime they would spin the yarn for her. So the girl set out to look for the cat, and as she was hunting about, she met her brother. He was in great trouble because he could not carry water well in a sieve, as it came pouring out as fast as he put it in. As she was trying to comfort him, they heard a rustling of twigs, and a flight of wrens alighted on the ground beside them. The wren said, "Give us your crumbs, then you need not grieve, for you'll find the water will stay in the sieve." Then the twins crumbled some of their bread on the ground, and the wrens pecked it and chirped. When they had eaten the last crumb, they told the boy to fill up the holes of the sieve with clay, and then to draw water from the well. So he did what they said, and carried the sieve full of water into the hut without spilling a drop. When they entered the hut, the cat was curled upon the floor. They stroked her and fed her with ham, and said to her, "Pussy, tell us how to get away from the witch." The cat thanked them for the ham, and gave them a pocket handkerchief and a comb, and told the children what they should do with them to escape. The cat scarcely finished speaking when the witch returned. "Well, you have done enough for today," she grumbled, "but tomorrow you'll have something more difficult to do, and if you don't do it well, straight into the oven you go." Half dead with fright, The poor children lay down to sleep on a heap of straw in the corner of the hut. They dare not close their eyes, and they scarcely could breathe. In the morning, the witch gave the girl 2 pieces of linen to weave before night, and the boy a pile of wood to chop. Then the witch left them to their tasks and went out into the wood. As soon as she was out of sight, the children took the comb and handkerchief and, holding hands, they ran and ran and ran. First they met the witch's watchdog, who was going to tear them to pieces. But they threw the remains of their bread to him, and he ate it and wagged his tail. Then they were hindered by the birch trees, whose branches almost put their eyes out. But the little sister tied the twigs together with her hair ribbon, and they got past safely and came out into the open fields. In the meantime, in the hut, the cat was busy weaving the linen. The witch returned to see how the children were getting on, and she crept up to the window and whispered, "Are you weaving, my dear?" "Yes, Granny, I am weaving," answered the cat. Then the witch realised that the children had escaped. She was furious and hit the cat, screeching, "Why did you let the children leave the hut?" But the cat spat and answered, "I have served you all these years, and you have never even thrown me a bone, but the children gave me their own piece of ham." Then the witch was furious with the watchdog and with the birch trees, because they had let the children pass. But the dog answered, "I have served you well all these years, and you have never gave me so much as a crust, but the children gave me their own loaf of bread." And the birch rustled in its leaves and said, "I have served you longer than I can say, and you never even tied a bit of twine around my branches, but the children bound them up with their bright ribbon." Though the witch saw there was no help to be got from her old servants, she mounted her broom and set off after the children herself. As the twins ran, they heard the sounds of the broom close behind them. They remembered what the cat had told them, and threw the handkerchief over their shoulders. Instantly, a deep, broad river flowed behind them. It took the witch a long time to find a place to ride over her broomstick, but at last she got across, and continued the chase faster than before. As the children ran, they heard the broom close behind them, so quick as thought they did what the cat had told them, and threw the comb down on the ground. In an instant, a dense forest sprang up, in which the roots and branches were closely intertwined, that it was impossible to force a way through it. When the witch came to it, she found there was nothing for it but to turn around and go. She was tearing with rage. The twins ran straight on till they reached home. They told their father all that they had suffered. He was so angry with the stepmother that he drove her out of the house and never let her return. Then he and the children lived happily ever after. The end. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do come back for more. Obviously, I'll leave a link in the description for the book. I will never put monetization on any of these either. I don't need to. And I hope you have a nice night or nice day, depends where you are. And thank you so much for stopping by and listening.